Hi guys. Okay, you would have seen in a previous video this ridiculous giant bag of blue fabric scraps. And when I say fabric scraps, they are true fabric scraps. They're all really little pieces of stupid bits of fabric, you know, because I cut up old clothes for fabric. So you'll see like a bit of a collar from a business shirt, seams, hems, the little bit down the front of the shirts with the buttonhole, and it just really kind of unusable bits of fabric. Anyway, so I've been making a lot of projects with them. I've made some snippet rolls. You would have seen in the past. I've made a couple more, which I'll show in a different video. I've made some beads, which I'll also show in a different video because I want to show how I make them. And I've also been making what I call little blue cookies. Now, they're just fabric clusters. I'll show you that in a minute. And look, I'll just do one with you quickly. Where's my pins? Of course, I'm not organized at all because I wasn't going to film, but my husband's home from work and he's having a lunch break, and I thought, oh, this is something I can show you super quick now. And I'll show you the pile that I've made in a second. So these are just some, you know, stupid little pieces, and all I really do is I just put a whole bunch together, and it's all different fabric. I don't care what pattern goes with what or what size. I just kind of lump them all together. These are actually big pieces. A lot of them are just really tiny pieces like this. Stupid little pieces like that. Anyway, I was just going through, well, I might add this one or this one at the back. I just go through and I just layer a whole bunch together. And what I did, I pinned them as I went. Usually I use these little sewing clips, but I made so many that I didn't have enough clips. So I just basically pinned them together. I had this little container that mushrooms came in, and I kind of filled this whole thing. Now that little container, look at my hands, they're all gluey and painty. Excuse my hands, dirty nails. Yeah, I didn't think, I kind of made them over a few weeks, and so I didn't think there were that many until I started sewing them. See, that's the hem, and I can't be bothered unpicking that to open it up. So I would just I would just leave it folded like that and just sew right over it. Yeah, as I was saying, I made these over a few weeks just inside when I'm babysitting and I can't use my craft room because my husband's working. And I always need a simple project I can do sitting at the kitchen table or in front of the TV or sitting with the grandkids. So I just took in the big blue bag, and over a few days I just made these, and I filled this little container, and you wouldn't think that many fit in there, but yeah, far out. When I went to sew them, that's when I realized how many I had. It was just a ridiculous amount. Lucky I sew like a crazy lady, so it didn't take me that long to sew them. But if you're a safe and sound normal sewer, see, just make them like that. I'd imagine they'd take forever. Anyway, so whoops, let me chuck this back in the big blue bag. I was actually going to do a use it till it's gone project where I would take one item and I would just keep using it, making different projects out of that item until it was all used up. And you may have seen a while back the little woolen fabric flowers that I made. Now, that was going to be my first use it till it's gone project. But after making that many flowers, I did make some little woolen heart patches. But yeah, then I was like, I'm over this woolen jumper. So now it's sitting back on the shelf. I'll have to get back and use it up. But so with my blue bag, I thought I'll use it till it's gone. And I started all these blue projects, blue, little blue cookies and blue fabric beads and snippet rolls and little swatches. And I just got sick of sewing blue fabric. So I'll show you the projects I've got over the next few days. And then the blue bag is going back over in the corner because I'm sick of looking at it. Anyway, so what I did, I just sat there and I just pinned random little scraps together super quick like that. Made a whole bunch. Then I took them to the sewing machine, and I don't sew them kind of separately. I sew them in this big long chain. Now, I sewed all of mine in one big long chain, but I did this one separate just to show you as a sample. Now, when I sew them for myself, I don't even usually leave this much of a gap between them. I just did this to show you the chain. So when I sew them, I'm not going to show you how I sew them because seriously, it's just a little zigzag stitch. I used a small zigzag stitch just straight down the center. That's it. And then I pull the thread a little so that there's a tiny gap in between, and then I sew them all in one big long chain. And then when I'm finished, I would just sit there for 10 hours and snip them apart. Okay, so you get the idea. And then I end up with all these little cookies. Now let me show you how many I made. It's like a baking tray of cookies. Look how many I made. Actually, maybe now that you see them in a pile, it doesn't even look like that many, but there's a lot there. There's so little. Okay, so some are little teeny tiny like that. Some are bigger. It's got some. This was actually some of the black fabric that I'm those offcuts from the little fabric notebooks I did the other day. So I even I had already pinned my little blue cookies together, and then I added extra little bits of fabric underneath just to use some more up. Ooh, oh, this one's still got a pin in it. I told you I sew like a crazy lady. Look at that. Okay, I'll have to get that one out. What I probably did is sewed two cookies together, took the pin out of the top one, and the one underneath had a pin. Anyway, that's all they are. Little tiny scraps of fabric sewn together. Now, you may be thinking, what on earth will you do with those? Look, some are bigger. You can see the same sort of fabric throughout because I just took a few pieces out of the bag and tried to use up those same pieces. This was my husband's old business shirt, that green check one. It's been kicking around for a while. Some with lace. Anyway, that's all they are. Okay, let me show you what I kind of do with them. Oh, where is it? Sorry, had already put it away. This was the journal I showed in yesterday's video, or the day before. One of the main ways that I use these, oh gosh, where is it? Okay, is like this. I just put them as little tabs for fold out pages. So, you know when the page is too big and you fold it over? I just pretty much glue a little blue cookie there. It doesn't have to be blue, whatever fabric you use. You could also just glue them on the side of a regular page, just as a little tab. And because they're already sewn, no need to sew it to the page. So good for people who don't have sewing machines. I may pop a couple of packs in my Etsy. I don't know if anyone's interested in little scraps, but if you don't have a sewing machine, you might. But yeah, you can just glue it to the side so you've got a little page tab. Or the other way is, where's a tag? Do I have any tags? I did somewhere. Not this tag, I suppose, but one that suits it. Oh, actually it could go on there. So even just as little tag toppers. No sewing required because it's already done, just glue them on. Anyway, those are my little blue cookies. I'm sick of sewing them. Look how many, I want to count them. Anyway, so these, I'll pop a few in my Etsy shop if you're interested. And the rest I will just now put back into this little container, and that'll just go on a shelf. And as I make journals, they're ready to go. Just glue, glue, glue. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.